Are you a night owl who thrives in the moonlight? Or are you a morning lark who thrives with the first rays of sunlight? Believe it or not, your favorite time of day can unlock some fascinating secrets about your personality. But what exactly do these preferences reveal? And how do they work? Can you actually change your preference? Stick around, because today we are diving deep into the science behind your favorite hours and what they say about you. So grab a cup of coffee or tea and let's find out. Age matters. Have you ever wondered why our grandparents seem to jump out of bed in the morning feeling refreshed and ready to embrace the day? As they get older, this morning energy seems to come naturally and they truly cherish it. Interestingly, research shows that children under 12 often prefer mornings too. It is during adolescence, typically between ages 12 and 17, that many of us begin to shift toward being night owls. This evening preference tends to linger until our early 20s, when we gradually find ourselves returning to a morning types. By the time we hit our 50s, that morning preference often becomes even more pronounced. This fascinating switch can be attributed to two main factors: physiological and social changes. For teenagers, physiological changes include the need for more sleep due to hormonal shifts and rapid growth of puberty. Meanwhile, as we transition into early adulthood, we face new social changes, such as increased responsibilities from careers or raising a family, which also play a role in our sleep preferences. The body's natural inclination for wakefulness and sleep is known as our chronotype, an expression of our circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm itself can be described as the internal 24-hour clock located in our brains that regulates our cycles of alertness and sleepiness in response to changes in light and our environment. There are 4 distinct chronotypes, each associated with an animal: the lion, the bear, the wolf, and the dolphin. Each of these animals represents a unique sleep-wake cycle. However, we often simplify these into 2 broad categories: morning larks and night owls. Morning people, or morning types, typically go to bed early, rise with the sun, and achieve their peak mental and physical performance during the early part of the day. In contrast, evening types thrive later, going to sleep and waking up later, and hitting their stride as the day winds down. But what happens when a morning person has to carry out tasks in the evening, or an evening person needs to jump into action bright and early? You guessed it, they often find themselves feeling exhausted and struggle to perform tasks requiring focus and concentration. This phenomenon is known as social jet lag, which describes the mismatch between our biological clock and social obligations like work or school. Unfortunately, social jet lag can come with a host of negative effects, including diminished sleep quality, decreased cognitive performance, and an increased risk of metabolic issues such as obesity and diabetes, as well as psychiatric disorders like mood disorders. Have you ever felt the effects of social jet lag? Share your experience in the comments below. Chronotype and personality connections. Chronotype is a heritable trait, meaning that our genetics play a role in determining whether we are morning larks or night owls. Moreover, research suggests that the connection between our personality and chronotype is also influenced by genetic factors. This particular research is utilizing the Big 5 personality model and has explored this intriguing link between chronotype, personality, and genetics. As the name implies, the Big 5 model encompasses 5 key characteristics that describe different personality types. For instance, a person labeled as conscientious is more likely to be viewed as always prepared rather than messy. Each of these overarching traits is further broken down into a variety of correlated and more specific primary traits. Take extraversion, for example. It is often associated with qualities like sociability, assertiveness, excitement-seeking, warmth, active and positive emotions. However, it is essential to remember that these traits exist on a spectrum rather than in strict categories. Research have shown that higher conscientiousness and lower openness to experience were significant predictors of earlier chronotype, aka the morning types. They also found that more straightforward and excitement-seeking, yet less self-disciplined people were more likely to have later chronotypes, aka the evening types. Another study has shown that conscientious and agreeable individuals expressed a morning preference. Meanwhile, open, neurotic, and extroverted individuals expressed an evening preference. Furthermore, our preferences for certain times of the day and our personalities are closely intertwined with our eating behaviors, influencing whether we choose healthy or unhealthy options. Traits such as conscientiousness, agreeableness, and extraversion are more likely to eat healthy. In contrast, those with higher levels of neuroticism are more prone to unhealthy eating behaviors. Interestingly, those who identify as morning types are more likely to engage in healthy eating behaviors. While time of day preference is an important piece of the puzzle, it is just one of many elements that predict our dietary choices, such as socioeconomic status, environmental influences, and more. Additionally, morning-type individuals demonstrated higher scores in resilience and optimism compared to their evening-type counterparts. These findings suggest that evening types may struggle more with facing adversity and adapting in a positive way, along with having a lower expectation for positive events to occur. Intelligence, thinking style, and school grades. Who's smarter, the night owl or the morning lark? A fascinating study suggests that night owls might have the edge when it comes to certain aspects of creative thinking, scoring higher in fluidity, flexibility, and originality. It seems that those who thrive in the evening are not only filled with ideas and hypotheses, but they also possess the ability to shift their conceptual strategies with ease. This research highlights a clear link between nocturnal preferences and originality, defined as the ability to provide unique and unconventional answers. Additionally, individuals who identify as nocturnal often find themselves at odds with societal expectations and norms that they do not adhere to. Research indicates that evening types frequently experience challenges in their relationships, both within their families and in social settings. These difficulties are closely connected to how they manage and structure their time. We can then assume that those who diverge from conventional routines, such as nocturnal individuals, often find themselves in unique circumstances. This distinction may foster a non-traditional mindset and out-of-the-box thinking to enhance their ability to discover innovative and alternative solutions. In addition to creative thinking, research has shown that individuals who identify as evening types tend to excel in areas like memory and processing speed. Remarkably, they often perform well on these cognitive tasks, even during morning hours. What's even more intriguing is that, despite their intelligence, evening types often face challenges when it comes to school performance. While the evidence clearly points to this disadvantage, we shouldn't automatically attribute it to their preference for staying up late. Instead, it is possible that late bedtimes lead to insufficient sleep, which significantly impacts their academic success. Additional evidence indicates that a consistent lifestyle is closely linked to being a morning person. Given that school schedules often promote regularity, it is likely that morning types are better equipped to thrive within these structured environments. Overall, maintaining a more regular lifestyle seems to have a positive impact on academic performance, suggesting that the benefits of good sleep habits and routine can significantly enhance school achievement. And finally, night owls and morning larks have different thinking styles. Morning types tend to acquire knowledge through tangible experiences, relying on direct observation and concrete information. They favor analysis and logic when processing what they learn, and they often adapt new knowledge based on their existing understanding. Their behavior is characterized by self-discipline and responsibility. They show respect and cooperation towards authority figures and maintain a formal and proper demeanor in social settings, indicating a sense of duty and conformity. Importantly, morning types also strive to make a positive impression, which suggests that being a morning person is viewed favorably among students. In contrast, evening types are more inclined to explore abstract concepts and symbolic information rather than sticking solely to concrete observations. They exhibit creativity and a willingness to take risks, constantly seeking to innovate and reshape their experiences. Behaviorally, evening types tend to express their independence and often resist traditional norms, embracing a more unconventional and dissenting approach to life. So, could staying up late actually spark more creativity? Share your experiences in the comments. Depression tendencies and addiction potential. Bad news for the evening types. Research has revealed a concerning pattern. These individuals are more likely to consume addictive substances, including legal options like nicotine and cola drinks, as well as illegal ones such as cannabis and ecstasy. Additionally, evening types face a higher risk of potential alcohol-related problems and tend to experience hangover symptoms more frequently. These findings highlight a troubling reality. Being an evening person may significantly increase the chances of developing substance use issues. To add fuel to the fire, another study suggests that individuals who prefer to engage in their daily activities during the evening hours may be more susceptible to depression. With this knowledge in hand, I realize that as a self-proclaimed night owl, I need to tread carefully. Social activities, life satisfaction, and happiness. According to a study, morning types and two specific personality traits, namely conscientiousness and lower neuroticism or high emotional stability, appear to have a positive correlation with overall satisfaction, suggesting that morningness might play an adaptive role in personality development. Additionally, extraversion moderates the link between chronotype and satisfaction. Extraverted evening types reported significantly higher life satisfaction, while introverted evening types experienced the lowest levels of contentment. This indicates that a person's level of extraversion may influence their decision to engage in social activities during the evening, activities that can enhance their overall well-being. To put a cherry on top of this, researchers at University College London discovered that individuals generally report their highest levels of happiness and life satisfaction in the morning, while these feelings tend to dip to their lowest around midnight. Do you resonate with the findings of this research? Share your opinions in the comments below. How to treat social jet lag. Unfortunately, while our chronotype may change throughout our lives, we cannot purposely change or retrain it, as it is influenced by genetic factors. However, all hope is not lost. Though our chronotype is essentially hardwired, we can still influence it. By adjusting certain behaviors and environmental factors, we can influence how effectively we align with our natural rhythms. There are effective strategies to help adjust our chronotype and reduce the effects of social jet lag. One intriguing study focused on a group of night owls and aimed to reshape their sleep habits over a 6-week period. Participants, a total of 22 confirmed night owls, were encouraged to adopt the following practices. 1. Go to bed 2 to 3 hours earlier than their usual bedtime and wake up 2 to 3 hours earlier than their typical waking time. 2. Maintain consistent sleep and wake times, keeping them within 15 to 30 minutes on both work days and days off. 3. Maximize outdoor light exposure in the mornings, while minimizing light exposure in the evenings. 4. If they exercise, they were advised to do so in the morning. 5. Have breakfast soon after waking, and stick to regular meal times for lunch and dinner, avoiding dinner after 7 p.m. 6. Avoid caffeine after 3 p.m. and refrain from napping after 4 p.m. Interestingly, participants reported reductions in feelings of depression and stress. Tests measuring cognitive reaction time and physical grip strength showed that their performance peaked earlier in the day. These positive outcomes not only emphasize the benefits of adjusting sleep habits, but also highlight the profound impact that proper scheduling can have on overall well-being. Whether you are a morning lark, or a night owl, or somewhere in between, do not let that stop you from subscribing to this channel. Hit that subscribe button and join me in creating a safe sanctuary for all creatures. Anyway, in conclusion, understanding our time of day preferences or chronotypes offers valuable insights into various aspects of our lives, including personality, cognitive abilities, and behavior. While our chronotype is influenced by genetic factors and evolves as we age, it is important to note that we cannot permanently alter it. However, we can make adjustments to maximize our strengths. Morning types typically exhibit qualities such as organization, resilience, and optimism, but they may be less adventurous compared to their evening counterparts. On the other hand, night owls often display heightened creativity and a wealth of innovative ideas, but they may struggle with academic performance. Interestingly, morning types tend to approach problems more concretely, while evening types often think in more abstract or symbolic ways. Behaviorally, morning people are generally more inclined to maintain healthy eating habits and thrive in social settings thanks to their more conformist nature. They also report higher levels of happiness and life satisfaction compared to evening types. Unfortunately, night owls may face an increased risk of depression and substance use issues. Last but not least, we touch upon strategies for managing social jet lag for night owls. While we cannot transform night owls into a different species, we still can transform them into morning owls, so to speak. And here we are at the end of our journey for today. Before I say my goodbye, I want to take a moment to thank you for tuning in and spending this time with me. I truly hope you found something positive in our conversation. Oh, by the way, how's your coffee? If you are still in the mood for a cozy sip or any other refreshing drink, why not check out my previous video? It might just deepen your appreciation for your favorite beverages. Wishing you all a fantastic day ahead.